Riv complaining about the people that are loud in the cafe. It's fine. They're allowed to be here, Riv. It's okay. How we doing, guys? Thank you for waiting. We've got our lovely cup of coffee here. Big thank you and shout out to One-san. Thank you for your support, dear, that have given you the 10,000 points required in order to do the suggested roast rate. I'll destroy your beautiful face with unpleasant compliments. But if it's a compliment, how is it unpleasant? But this is all the way from Colorado, Sweet Bloom, as you can see in the little corner down there. It is a hometown blend, so it should be interesting. Blends are always kind of, we'll see how it goes. Rocky Mountain High, not quite, but no decaf. No, Mom, I'm gonna have to change. I'm not gonna be able to make it to Memorial Day if that's the case. I'm sorry. It's not if it's only decaf coffee. Nope. But these are your beans. I'm guessing based off the tones, this is gonna be mostly like a medium-ish, light-ish, or a medium light. Like you can tell the differentiation in colors in there. One of them's probably a medium roast, while others are light roasts. With blends, it's always interesting because like the concept of blends, I feel is good because you can mix not colors. It's might coffee or Ledium. Exactly, you got it, geek. You got it. But it's always interesting because you can never get every pot of a blend is different because you have different variations of the two beans or three beans, or however many different beans it might be. I'll have to bring the coffee. I'll probably do that to make sure that I get my proper non-decaf coffee. Can't believe you would threaten your own son like that. But yeah, big thank you to One-san for suggesting this coffee. I'm looking forward to it. It should be very good. I would imagine anyway. We will find out shortly. We're talking, as you can tell on there, you're looking at, it's a natural wash process. You're looking for like cocoa nibs. I don't know what praline is. Praline probably. And then blackberry. And I know I've talked to you guys before about how out at Mom and Dad's, they live in 10.5 acres of wooded area. We had blackberries the size of your thumbs that we used to go around, pick up, and eat right off of the vine. I guess that's what you'd call it. Not vine, bush, shrub, whatever you want to call it. But so the blackberry flavor is very near and dear to my heart. I imagine the darker roasted beans are where you get the cocoa nibs from. I'm not entirely sure what praline is. Let's do a quick little search here. Praline. What is praline? Praline appears to be a cookie. I thought no, you guys are my huckleberry. What is a praline? A nut confection. Oh, a nut confection. A caramelized sugar heated to 160 degrees Celsius combined with a roasted nut combination, commonly made with sugar corn syrup. Oh, well there you go. Take off the hat. Thank you, sir. Now respectfully dunk your head in cold water. No! Oh, you mean geek. I gotcha. I used to own a blackberry. Oh, haha, back in the day. But it should be interesting. Based off of the smell, I'm mostly getting the blackberry smell. That's what's predominant through the olfactory senses when you experience this cup while it's roasting, or not roasting rather, but while it's brewing. We'll dive in and see what we get. Hey, Loops, your coffee indeed. That is an interesting flavor. Hello, Jeff. Welcome. So glad I made it back in time. Indeed. It's very interesting. The blackberry is very on the front of the taste. I can get a little bit of cocoa in it. But it's definitely no, and it's not bad at all. It's just the first sip of it, the first pull, because you never know what you're going to expect. You know what I mean? So it's just like, what am I going to do? I am down. Yes, please. But it's you never really know what you're going to get into it the with the first pull. So you always have to be mindful of that. It's not bad. It's very blackberry. It's not a bitter cup of coffee. It's very smooth. Um, but blackberry is very at the front of the tasting of the coffee. It fades a little bit into the cocoa nib. I'm not really getting. Save some roast for Monday. Oh, maybe if you're lucky. But yeah, with the first pull, that's what I always say. Yeah, the first pull. Yes, you never know what you're gonna get with the first pull. The first pull, the first drink. I've literally said that for the last like 3 months. Do I ever mix beans? Sometimes. Like if I've got 2 bags that can't make a full pot, I will I'll mix the 2 together and see what happens. But I don't really know what I'm looking for with a praline. Yeah, well, you can take it however you want, Night Phase. You can take that's a sentence that I'm going to ignore. But but yeah, very blackberry. Smooth cup of coffee. I'm not entirely sure what I'm supposed to be feeling from the pralines. The blackberry is mostly what I can taste when it comes to this cup. With a so when I think about like caramelized sugars and nuttiness, it's not really when I clean off my counter. It's actually a little bit cleaner now. Thank you, Ma. A little bit. I did some dishes, so that's good. Steps in the right direction. The only dishes that are in there are from the last time I cooked. So we're doing good. We've made progress. The kitchen actually looks presentable again. But a very good cup of coffee, Loops. Thank you so much for suggesting it. I would definitely give you props for this. It's very delightful. Like I said, it's not very rough. It's smooth. Which when you come with these blends, these medium light to light roast blends, typically the roasts are not. Oh, I see. But typically the roasts are not the darker the roast, the more bitter the cup of coffee is going to be. I don't know when I'm gonna rate it yet. It's very good. The flavors are kind of complex, but not like the blueberry is very prominent. Not blueberry, blackberry. Sorry, the blackberry is very prominent in the tastes. No, it will not get a negative score. I do not want to throw up when I drink this. Like I did with the dill. With that being, I'd be interested to see how this flavor is going to morph through the rest of through next week, while we're drinking on it. It'll be interesting to see if I get a different mixture of the beans, if maybe the cocoa nibs will come out a little bit more, or that caramelization or caramelized sugar well, it's not a bean change because it's a blend. It's not just one type of bean. So with it being a blend, you're not going to get, every pot's going to be different. But maybe it'll be a little bit more cocoa nibby. Maybe it'll be a little bit more of the praline. But for this first one, it's very, very blackberry, which is good. I'm going to give you a 7, Loops. I'll give it a 7. Because I could see I'm a big fan of blackberries. Like I talked about, blackberries have, that spot in my, my memory as something that's pleasant. Something that brings back memories of good times. walking through the back of the woods and just grabbing a handful off of the vine, accidentally grabbing one that wasn't quite ripe or one that's been a little bit too mushy. And it's a nice cup of coffee. Thank you very much, Loops, as always, for your continued support. Thank you, Schniddle, for that. That means the world to me. Thank you. But I am going to fill up the cup of coffee. I've already got the water bottle and everything filled up. So I'll make you guys watch some old school pooks for a little bit while I go fill up the cup. And then we'll be back to fighting this Minotaur. Which, fortunately, they are very kind at giving me health. Because I am just face tanking it. As one does. But give me a few. We'll be right back with more God of War.